101.1 Smartfm Diskusi Indonesia BPEC.
Wow, bright and breezy.
Yeah. Okay, for this segment, of course, Wonderland Indonesia. Ya, negeri ajaib Indonesia. So, when we talk about Indonesia, of course, absolutely, our country is negeri ajaib. Yeah, let's say negeri ajaib means in English Wonderland. So, when we talk about Wonderland, are you thinking that except Indonesia, there is also Wonderland in outside?
I'm not sure because I really love Indonesia, so I'm not really the one of the country
because
that
it's a very very hard to put Wonderland for the country. It's a very very hard because a lot of country in the world only beautiful, only beauty, only beautiful, not Wonderland, not wonderful. But this is a Wonderland. Is a oh my God! It's a hard. It's very hard. So, do you think that the wonderful, except Indonesia, there is also Wonderland in outside?
I'm not sure. As far as I know, that Indonesia is the best place. We place in the Katulistiwa, and we sure know that Indonesia have a good, how to say, pertumbuhan, and when we make rempah-rempah, there is a lot in Indonesia.
I agree.
So, as far as I know, that Indonesia is most beautiful, and also I can say that we don't have saingan with another country for the beautiful of Indonesia, because Indonesia is not just wonderful, Indonesia is a wonderland. So I guess.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
I love it.
Okay, what about you? Are you agree that there is also Wonderland in outside except Indonesia? In somewhere.
Yeah, it's just my point of view, right?
Yeah.
So in my perspective, I would say that when you ask me about is there any country that would be the rival of Indonesia in terms of their Wonderland terms?
Yes.
And I would say that it would be Brazil, and the second is Uni Emirat Arab.
Okay.
Because when I watched that in the video, I can see that I would say that extremely beautiful as well. It's like Indonesia, but of course there are many things that they don't have, but Indonesia have it. For example, like we have many languages.
Yeah.
The second one is like we have a lot of tribes.
Yeah.
Like for example in Sulawesi, South Sulawesi, we have many tribes here and also language, like Bulukumba have their own language, and my hometown has their own language, like we have Patinjo and Makassar, Buginas, and many things. So I would say that they are beautiful in terms of their nature, like their view, but then for like cultures, tribes, I would say that Indonesia is still be the best.
Yeah. Did you know, guys? When we throw plant in Indonesia, wherever, right? When we just throw, keep away and don't care about it. Oh my God, it's a growing, right? So when we grow, we think, oh my God, it is mine. And we petik, how to say, and eat. So everything can grow in Indonesia, but in outside, no. Not like that, because we got a blessing from the God that everything can grow here. Okay, you make it. You made to, how to say, prove it. Just throw and we'll throw. We'll grow. But in outside, not like that. But we cannot actually explain this by logic. But this is a blessing. This is a blessing. Yeah, we got blessing from God. Yeah, God choose us, choose our country is as a wonderland. So that's why it's hard to put Wonderland in outside except Indonesia. But I'm still curious also. Is any else Wonderland except Indonesia? I'm still curious about that also. So my next question. Today there is illegal logging. Our forest is criticized, right? So it it has any effect to make our country, how to say, degrade about the how to say, about the Wonderland itself. So how do you think about it? How we, how to say, keep the terms that Wonderland is only Indonesia? How do you think about it? Maybe you.
Well, the question is about we know that there are some people that use the nature, then they broke the nature.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean the beautifulness of Indonesia
And very significant.
it's
Very
decreased significantly.
Yes, yes.
And I would say that that's true. I mean Indonesia is beautiful, but then the issue is the people in it. Indonesia, they don't.
It's big issue.
Yeah, big issue
Uh-huh.
among the citizens. Like it seems like we don't act grateful to the God of, I mean, the thing that they gave us, and but when we talk about how to solve it, it's kind of tricky question. I mean, I don't really think there will be a solution. I would just say it coming from our own self, like changing yourself, like changing yourself, then changing your environment.
Okay.
Maybe the big role in this
Maybe
issue.
the question is hard, yeah.
Yes,
Or not.
Maybe for me.
No.
I think the big role that can solve this problem is the government. They would create a good policy in terms of keeping the Wonderland terms in Indonesia.
Maybe socialize or campaign about this term, right?
Of course.
Yeah, to make a massive movement.
Yeah.
To make our country is better and recover.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, I think the song of Wonderland Indonesia is one of the terms, one of the way to campaign. If we have that thing, so keep it.
Okay.
Do not break it.
Okay, so share.
Yeah.
Send to anywhere. Okay, what about you, Jenna? Do you get the point?
So yeah, I think also seems like Yusril, we still not really. I think most of people in Indonesia, we not actually keep this our nature for maybe in the future for our maybe our generations. And also I can say that maybe for the solve it, I guess maybe the nowadays that we can so that there is another country that want to our culture, they claim that our culture. So I could say that we have to keep it our culture is as a Indonesia. For example, like batik or something else. And also I think for the government they have to be how to say tegas for that thing. So we can keep our nature and our culture for that thing. So yeah, I think that's all for me.
It's come from awareness each people, right?
Yeah.
By collective how to, and also how to we how to say do campaign to make awareness, right? About we do not throw the garbage and how to say keep your nature, don't waste the energy like the right. And actually talk about Wonderland is a lot of effect, a lot of by systematically and systemic, so it's like a globalized, right? Only two words Wonderland Indonesia, but the effect is a globalized, right? Because Indonesia is the paru-paru dunia. So that's why it has many effects to all of the world, right? Yeah, not only nature, not only culture, but everything. Yeah. So, my next question. Now we will talk about especially this song, Wonderland Indonesia. So, how do you think about our friends' creativity as Indonesian? Their creativity to create this, the creation, especially for this. This song, this video, this concept, about this video. How do you think about their creativity as Indonesian?
For me, the first time I saw that video, I've been, how to say, merinding and
goosebumps.
Goosebumps. I'm just like, oh my god, I just like my jaws drop. Like this is, from the start, the opening until the last video, I'm just like amazed about this kind of thing. So also the Wonderland of Indonesia, there is a two video, Wonderland first and Wonderland 2, and the Wonderland Indonesia, the first Wonderland Indonesia is amazing. You know, they put the Insinyur Soekarno. They proclaim as a proclamator. So
founding father.
Yeah, you know, it's insane. So, you know, I'm just like really proud for their creativity as a make Indonesian one of the country that they can know that this is Indonesia, this Wonderland of Indonesia. So yeah, you know, it's amazing.
Give sarangnya to the creator.
Sarangnya, who's the Alvi, right?
Okay.
Alvi. Yeah. Yeah, he's really good for creating. They also
and the team.
Yeah,
not
the team.
only his.
The CGI.
His
Oh my god.
Team,
yeah, and also the singer Novia. She's a really good voice, and I really like her.
From North Sulawesi, Novia.
Okay.
Novia. Okay. What about you? How do you think about their creativity as Indonesian? Is this the same level from Hollywood or not, or what?
Of course, as a nationalist person, okay. It's in the top of the world. And the first thing that I would say is just the same as our sister. Like, that's insane. You know, they describe every single sectors of Indonesia in one song. That's so creative. And they made a video related to it. Like, they show how rich Indonesia in terms of their cultures, their traditional dance, for example, and song. And a language. They use numerous language in it. And I think one of the things that we have to appreciate is the theme, the creative theme. Yeah. The creative theme. They, you know, that's totally insane. You know, extremely beautiful.
Also, like Jannah. Almost.
I forgot, but that's amazing when I saw that. And
I did. I also got goosebumps. So when I first watched that video for the first and the second, really, I goosebumps also, like Jannah. Okay, continue.
I mean, they how to say that, they put it in one song, like the good voice, the best editing, cinematography. Everything is perfect in it. So
the sound,
and like how they put the language in many language in one song. That's truly amazing for me. And I think that would give significant impact for people to know how rich their country. And I think I hope that could create awareness among the citizens.
Yeah, because you know a lot of element inside, like culture, performance, electronic, right? The angles, cinematography, visual, audio, instrument, many more. Concept, idea. Oh my God, it's like speechless. You know, because that's why a lot of foreigners make a reaction and they're just like this. What? How do you call this? What? Like that, right?
Yes.
So, how many stars you give for them?
Let's say from scale 1 to 10. I'll, of course, 10.
Wow! Giving a plus for Afif.
Nice, more than 10.
Yeah. So, talking about because Afif is a national talent, right? Goes to international because their video is viral. Do you expect that there is come from South Sulawesi also to be Afif next Afif, something like that?
I mean, that would describe
maybe
how rich. Oh no. Yeah, perhaps, but the concept. I mean, describe about Sulawesi.
Yeah.
Of course, because we know that the technology is growth rapidly, so people.
We don't need to fly to Hollywood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right now.
We can create it in here, like the vibes, everything, by of course emphasizing the culture of Indonesia. And I think when we talk about the same thing that would probably describe how rich Sulawesi is, I would say that it's potentially exists, because you know that the technology, people will always aware with the technology, learn about technology, editings, many things about technology, and perhaps they can create that. And we know that there are many good singers coming from Sulawesi, and perhaps they would create the same thing, or maybe more than that. Yeah.
Maybe one of them are you.
I cannot sing. Maybe you.
you. Okay, what about you, Jana? Do you expect that there is a come from South Sulawesi to be like the next Aviv?
Yeah, I hope maybe Kadias can make the concert.
Really?
Israel can,
yeah.
Make a good team for,
okay, good.
you know.
After this,
We also got maybe we have a different hometown, but we are still in the south.
Please dreaming,
Sulawesi.
because dreaming is free.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope. Oh my God. Yeah,
Okay.
I hope. Someday in the future we can also make a people know about the Sulawesi, how beautiful Sulawesi and about the culture. So we can find the beautiful place as Indonesia, and also in Toraja and Rekang and everywhere in Sulawesi, especially they just know about maybe in Sulawesi about something bad, but they didn't know about the hidden place. I mean the beautiful place in South Sulawesi, especially in here also. Yeah, there's a lot.
Did you aware that in this video there is a lot of like mystical story, right? So Indonesia not only rich about traditional costume, like Visik, everything we can see like Visik, not only Visik, but like mystical also we are rich, right? Like like something like story like Malingkunda, Ipulandut-Landut, Kuntilanak. Yeah, Kuntilanak, but the Kuntilanak words come from Pontianak in Kalimantan Barat.
Kuntilanak, Pontianak.
Yeah, we have a lot of mystical story in Indonesia. So, how do you think about this issue when we inserting to a Wonderland aspect? How do you think about this term? A mystical story. We are very rich about this mystical story.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. Yeah, I do agree with that. There are a lot of mystical story in Indonesia. For example, in Sulawesi we have Popot, Perlakang, something like that. And I think that comes up for purpose, of course. You know, like maybe for educate people, do not do like this, something like this.
There is moral message.
From it. I would say that I don't really know about the story of it, and so I cannot conclude what is the moral value. But I would say that I assume that, of course, there is something that we can learn from that story. Not only entertain people in who love horror thing, horror genre. But beside that, of course, there's a moral value that people can learn from it, like perhaps the culture of Indonesia, culture of South Sulawesi.
Mystical story not only talk about horror, but also something like fairy tale, something like fun, something like we get the takjub. How do we say in English like Roro Jonggrang.
Ini Bakande.
Bakande is horror, like Roro Jonggrang, like Nyerere Kidul, Nyerere Kidul.
Fairy tale.
Oftenly our mystical story always designer. Designer, when we have a representation to representative Indonesia in outside in another country like Miss Indonesia, Miss World, designer always create the traditional costume and give to our representative like Miss Universe, Miss Grand International, to wearing the traditional costume as a national costume international. They are come from that creativity, like a costume it claim come from mystical story. like Borobudur, like Danau Toba, Lake Toba, right? So we are rich about this mystical story, but still there is still there are many people not aware about mystical story. Just people always mention about traditional custom, about the dance, about the song, the culture, but what about the mystical story? We need to aware about this also. So yeah, what do you think about that? Your point of view about the mystical story?
So I can say that also, yeah, I think it's so much mystical stories in Indonesia, especially, you know, I want to see the one of the mystical story in Borobudur. So I'm still amazed. I wanna saw the Borobudur in real life. So because I also know, I mean, I ever heard the story from people about how they create the Borobudur thing. So I'm not actually believe that, but they believe about that thing. So I'm also amazed that they can make the Borobudur in one night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
Mystical story.
No, there is mystical. Borobudur, yeah.
Prambanan or Borobudur?
Prambanan, I guess.
Prambanan.
Yeah. The kind of a chandi like that. So we can saw in different island. There's mystical story maybe from the kingdom. There's like
kingdom era.
Yeah, kingdom era in Indonesia. So yeah, I think I wanna saw that and also wanna like know the stories or what. Is it true about the mystical story? And also it's interest for me to know about the mystical story of maybe Borobudur or Prambanan, like that things.
Yeah, this is about mystical story. So what about rempah-rempah? As you mentioned before we talking about this, you mentioned about rempah-rempah, right? In Indonesia, you know why colonel come to Indonesia? Because Indonesia is a fertile land. Right, everything can grow here. We just throw and oh my God, that's like very fertile, right? So like cengkeh, vanilla, and you know everything. So maybe in your area, what plant can grow in your area? We talk about plants, rempah-rempah, foods, pangan, yeah, right, something like that.
In my place, I would say that perhaps everything can be planted there.
But do you have a local, dominant local product?
Oh, in
your area,
in my hometown, no, because in my village, that's the central market here there. Not focus on the farms.
Let's we call pasar central titik.
Yeah, like that. But for the Pinrang, especially for Pinrang, I would say that it more likely about the rice, durian, you know.
Durian.
But not really as famous as Palopo and West Sulawesi. But we have that as well, like durian, langsat, rambutan.
Okay.
That's actually originally come from Indonesia, right?
After they send me.
It's not mine. No.
Okay. What about you? What is the local product produce in your village, special from the plants like like durian, as you say, rambutan, and etc. So.
You know, maybe I will talk about my home. I mean, in my home and also in my neighborhood, there a lot of serai. Serai, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, with in my back home also there's a lot of serai, some kind of that things.
Can I order by my application?
Of course. And maybe from my hometown, because I'm also from
Papua.
Yeah, I'm from Papua, but I'm originally from Enrekang.
Yeah.
So in Enrekang, we know that.
Which one you will tell to smart viewers, Papua or Enrekang?
I will tell about Enrekang first.
Okay.
So, in Enrekang,
make it clear.
In Enrekang, every time I back to my hometown, there's a lot of onions. Oh my God, there's a lot.
Which one? Onion?
Onions.
Oh, I think onion.
Onions. Bawang merah. So yeah, and every time I go there, I mean in Enrekang, my auntie always
Are you boss bawang merah?
No. It's like I go to the go to the garden, kebun, for we have to like make the bawang merah. We create the bawang merah. After that, we send to Makassar like that. So yeah, there's a lot of onions there.
Maybe you are boss there.
No.
Okay.
I never.
Okay. So we will talk about this Wonderland Indonesia. Maybe you have a conclusion about our topic this evening, please. Yes.
Well, from all of the discussion and elaborations that we have discussed so far, I would conclude that the first thing that I would say that it's actually the quote that I got from my friends that just visit Bandung. I never visit Bandung, but one thing that I would say that Indonesia was created when the God was smiling, so that's why Indonesia is so beautiful.
Wow.
And from
Can I write it right on your page?
No, I just got it from from Bandung, I guess, the quote from Bandung. And for the conclusion, I think by discussing this topic, I hope that we can more aware with how beautiful Indonesia, so we can keep it up. I mean, keep it beautiful. We don't break every single things that can be the identity of Indonesia. I mean, we have so much things in Indonesia. So yeah, you have to care about that and aware about that.
And the most important is positive campaign about Indonesia,
that's the
right?
important things. Campaign.
Not barbar.
No, of course not.
Okay, what about you, Jen? What is your conclusion about our this topic for this evening?
Yeah, we already discussed about this beautiful, interesting topic, Wonderland Indonesia. We also talk about how beautiful Indonesia, how they have a lot of culture and also rempah-rempah, some kind of that things. So I can say that we have to keep it same like statement like Kak Yusril, and also, I hope that in the future we still can get many things, or maybe there still have the hidden place in Indonesia we still didn't know. So actually, I hope Indonesia still be one of the Wonderland
what
in the universe.
What about the words? Do you have a special vocabulary about our topic this evening? Special vocabularies, Jannah or Yusril?
Create.
What is bahasa? Translate.
Kreasi.
What else?
And also wonderful.
Okay, what is that?
Indah. Indah.
Wonderful?
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, one word that I repeatedly mentioned before is numerous. Numerous is the synonym of very. Many. Sorry, many. So instead of saying, beside of saying many, you may say
in bahasa,
numerous.
please.
Jadi numerous means sangat. So you may say that instead of saying di samping bilang sangat, you may say numerous people, banyak orang.
Okay. Wow, wonderful words, wonderful conclusion. Give a applause for us. Okay, as a BPECian. Okay, thank you guys for coming
Thank
in
you.
our second home. Yes, Smartfm. That's all our conversation, guys, smart viewers and listeners at home about wonderful Indonesia, how beauty Indonesia. So we will see for the next week. Stay tuned on Smartfm 101.1. The Spirit of Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you and bye bye.
Bye bye.